Good evening, girls. I am Dr. R. Vidya, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Computer Science, St.Joseph College of Arts and Science, Cuddalore. Now we are going to see the 5th unit, Basic Unix Commands. This is an operating system, Unix. So this is the architecture diagram and this is the general diagram. And we are going to see the different commands. This is a very important question. See here, Unix contain the major three parts: shell, kernel and commands. Okay, kernel is the interface between user and the hardware. Listen please, the Unix architecture contains three parts. One is kernel, another one is shell, another one is a commands. Okay, kernel is the interface between user and the hardware. Okay, what is shell? Shell is called command line interpreter. That is, shell will accept the command, then execute the command. This is the architecture diagram. Here we are having so many Unix commands. We will see the commands in detail. See here, kernel is the interface between user and the hardware, other application programs. The architecture of Unix is divided into kernel, hardware, shell, files and directories in which the kernel manages the connections related to the hardware, applications and commands. What is shell? Shell is the command line interpreter. It is the interface between the user and the kernel. Users can interact with the shell using shell commands. Shell has two main responsibilities, which include interpreting the commands and giving by the users and execute them using the kernel, providing programmability to the user to write shell commands for a shell script to perform specific task. Some of the major categories of commands used by the Unix operating system are shell. Shell commands providing the primary user interface, utilities, forming the core toolkit of Unix commands includes subcategories such as system utilities, supporting administrative tools and user utilities for environment management tool. These are the Unix commands. CC is a C compiler, VA is the editing command, ID is the print user ID, CPP is the C preprocessor, who is logged in, today's date we can get with this data, W is in word count, CD is the change directory. A out assembler output, grep searching and matching the text file, that is the expansion of global regular expression print. COMP is a compiler, A is an assembler, NROFF format text, SH is the shell. And these are the special Unix command started with the dollar symbol, $ls. List the name of the file in your default directory. List L gives a long listing of files in your directory. $LSA causes all your files to be listed, including those files that being with a period, that is hidden files you can get. So with this we can get the displaying the directory. Displaying and concatenating the files, $more new file displays the content of the new file one screen, that is at a time. $cat display the content of the file on our terminal. $cat new file displays the content of the file, new file name on our terminal. So these are the Unix commands using displaying and concatenating the files. Copying the files, how to copy? $CP makes the copies of your files. You can use it to make copies of files in your default. $CP file name, file 1, file 2. Copies the content of file 1 to the file named file 2. Two separate files now exist. How to delete the files? $rm, deleting the specific file. $rm, new file, delete the file named new file. $rm new file, that is old file, deletes the two files, new file and the old file. $rm new star delete all the files that begin with the prefix new. So with this we can delete our files. Renaming the file is possible. Yes. $move. Change the identification. That is move. Changes the identification of one or more file. $mv old file with the new file. Changes the names of the file old file to the new file. Only one file exists here. $mv old file binary / new file changes the names of the file called old file to the new file and places it in the directory -binary. With this we can renaming the file. Printing from Unix $IPR, which is used to command the this command is used to print the file on Unix. So with this we saw what is an Unix operating system. See, we are having three categories: kernel, shell and commands. Kernel is the important interface between hardware and the user. Shell is the command line interpreter, and we are having the commands. So these are the commands: shell, who is logged in, assembler output, today's date, word count, grep, editor, A is the editor, identifier, assembler, compiler, C preprocessor, NRF, C compiler and other application programs. Hope you can follow this commands. Thank you, students.